Bienvenidos a todo el mundo a nuestro webinar sobre México. Welcome everybody to our third webinar about Mexico. Today with me we have Gabby, my co-host and Spanish teacher, and two special guests from Mexico, which will join our webinar. Here they are.
Hola, ¿cómo están?
Hola, hola.
Hola, hola.
Mi nombre es Arik, yo soy de México, de Cuernavaca.
Y yo soy Eitan, también de México, de la Ciudad de México.
Muy bien. For those who doesn't know, my name is Deborah. I'm the community manager of Lingopie. And we have Gabby, our Spanish teacher from Argentina. Hola, Gabby.
Hola, hola Debbie, hola Ari, Keitan, hola a todos. Welcome everyone.
Bienvenidos a todo el mundo. I'm going to present you the agenda for today. The webinar will be half in English and half in Spanish. So let me know if I speak too fast or it's good, let me know in the chat. So the agenda for today, the agenda por hoy, we will start with an introduction that we just did, una presentación de nosotros y de vosotros, datos curiosos, which are interesting facts about Mexico, the Mexican food, the culture, and new features of Lingopie. Then we will have the main part, which include preguntas, una entrevista, an interview to our special guest, Arik y Eitan de Mexico City y Cuernavaca, dos ciudades de México, y un juego que vamos a jugar todos juntos, a game that we will play all together and we'll have a lot of fun. Vamos a divertirnos muchísimo. And to conclude, we will have question and answer, preguntas y respuestas, where you will be able to ask us anything about Lingopie, about Mexico, about us, whatever you want. So let's move on, Gabby.
Ok, hola a todos, nuevamente. Antes que empezamos, le voy a pedir a todos que escriban de dónde se están conectando, where are you connecting from, and what is your favorite food? Because today we are talking about food, we are talking about Mexican food. Debbie, ¿cuál es tu comida preferida? You can write down in the chat where are you connecting from and your favorite food in Spanish, of course.
Okay, so mi comida favorita es, soy italiana, hablo muy bien español, pero vengo de Milán, Italia, y en los gustos soy muy italiana, me gusta la pasta, la pizza, todo lo que es italiano a mí me encanta, literal. ¿Y tú, Gaby?
A mí me gusta, yo soy de Argentina, me gusta mucho la comida en general, y me encanta la milanesa, el schnitzel, la milanesa de carne.
La milanesa, muy italiana, muy de Milán.
La milanesa que es muy italiana.
Sí, veo en el chat que me dicen, hola a todos, soy alemana y vivo en Costa Rica. Muy bien, entonces tienes que aprender español, imagino, ya sabes.
Tenemos aquí de California y me encanta el mole. No sé lo que es el mole, después, ahí Nathan sabe lo que es el mole, después nos cuentas. California, claro. Y me gustan los tacos. Bien, California.
Aquí tenemos, soy de Los Ángeles, California, me encanta carne asada, de Argentina eso, o de Uruguay, no sabemos.
Carne asada es bien de América Latina, en toda América Latina comen, desde Argentina hasta México comemos carne asada, tenemos más California, carne asada, burrito. Vivo en Wasaga Beach, Ontario, Canadá. Hello, Canada. I don't answer in English. I live in Los Angeles and my favorite food right now is chile relleno. Pretty good.
Very nice, I see.
Muy buena comida.
Buena lección.
El chile relleno. Ok, very good, very good.
Thank you, everybody.
Y los huevos rancheros.
Huevos
rancheros. De Los Ángeles me gustan los huevos rancheros. Okay, I don't know this amazing food. Very good. Awesome. Okay, continuamos. Hoy hablamos de la comida. Hoy hablamos de la comida mexicana y primero tenemos nuestro nuestro TV show, the Lingopie Special Mexican Food Tour. Let's watch for a little bit scene together, okay? And after that, we will continue with our amazing guest.
Hola a todos, espero que estén súper bien. Bienvenidos a un video más. En esta ocasión estoy en Pizza, no crean que lo dije mal. Así se llama este lugar, que es súper innovador porque tiene pizzas con masa azul, ingredientes 100% mexicanos, además de una labor social muy importante. Acompáñenme a conocerlo. Pues ya nos metimos hasta la cocina de Pizza.
And let's back to our presentation. We are talking about pizza today, but a very special kind of pizza, right, Debbie?
Una pizza muy especial, a pizza very special. And from who saw the episode knows that this pizza, the inspiration of this pizza came from the Guarache, which is a typical Mexican food. And here we have some interesting facts about los Guaraches, which I didn't know as a Mexican food. But I'm gonna read in Spanish and then I'll explain in English, and I'm gonna read very slowly. So, el Guarache es un plato típico de la comida mexicana. Se le llama así por una razón muy simple. En México le llaman así a las chanclas o sandalias. En ese plato la base de maíz tiene la forma de un guarache, sandalia, chancla, y por eso su nombre. So basically you can see also here the pictures. The reason why they gave this food the name of this shoe is because they have the same oval form, round form, and that's why like they decided to call it the same way, because they have the same size, the same form. And I think it's very interesting because this shoe is something typical of Mexico. Like people really use it from years and years. And I found it very interesting, but be careful to not order a shoe when you're in the restaurant. To be correct to what you order.
Arik, Nathan, ¿qué pueden decirnos de los guaraches?
En México es muy interesante porque tenemos muchas comidas parecidas, dependiendo de la forma, depending on the shape, they have a different name. Se llama guarache, o sope, o taco, tostada, y todos tienen 3 ingredientes básicos: tortilla, un relleno y una salsa. So they all have, depending on the size and the shape, they all have a dough, they all have a filling, and then they all have a salsa. So if it's circular, se llama sope. If it's in the shape of a shoe, se llama guarache. If it's folded with a filling inside, se llama taco. And so on. We have many, many variations. So
¿Y tiene el mismo sabor?
The shape makes the different taste. Sabe más rico dependiendo la forma.
Muy bien, perfecto, muchas gracias. Continuamos con otros datos curiosos. What is Guarache's food origin? Se dice que el origen de los Guaraches se remonta a la década de 1930, cuando un vendedor ambulante con puesto vendía tlacoyos, otra comida típica mexicana, en el canal de navegación La Viga, en la Ciudad de México. Los tlacoyos se hacen con masa de maíz azul y son más pequeños, más ovalados que los guaraches. Comenzó a crearlos más grandes y rectangulares, uno de los cuales parecía una sandalia guarache. El hombre se quedó y su tamaño más grande, que les permitió almacenar más proteínas, los convirtió en un éxito entre las personas que buscaban una cena satisfactoria de camino a la Ciudad de México. I'm thinking about another food from Argentina. If we have like a name like this, I don't think so. The Guaraches, it sounds very special that it's based on the shoe.
Very special.
Pretty original, I would
Tenemos
say.
otra historia del
A ver.
burrito.
Claro, yo hasta ayer pensaba que el burrito era más americano que mexicano, porque la verdad que no comemos tanto burritos en México, eso es un mito. Pero conocí ayer a un mexicano que vive en la frontera, en Juárez, y dijo que ahí se cree, cuenta la leyenda que de ahí es el burrito, de la frontera, porque un señor vendía tacos en tortillas muy grandes y he was riding a donkey, like an actual burro, y para que te lleves tu comida te lo envolvía en tortillas más grandes para que te lo lleves on burritos. Entonces, de ahí salió el nombre de burrito. Él me dijo que si sea leyenda o realidad, que él es lo que cree. Entonces, era una buena historia para compartir sobre los burritos.
Can you say it also in English?
Of course. Burritos, I heard a story from a Mexican yesterday that a burrito, the name comes from that city in the border of Mexico in America. And it's because a guy was riding a donkey and he was selling behind the donkey like many different guisados, we call them, like many types of meat and all that. And he was just wrapping them in tortillas so people can take them. And because he was riding a donkey, that's why it's called a burrito. So that's another fun fact for people.
It's important to say that in Spanish we say donkey is burro, and then when you roll it, it's a burrito. Right. So the burrito is from Mexico. Okay, very important fact.
Very important fact. We will move on to the next interesting fact about los guaraches. I'm gonna read. ¿Por qué los guaraches son azules? Why los guaraches are blue, which is atypical for a food to have a color. So, los guaraches son azules porque están hechos de harina de maíz azul. Esta harina de flour, harina means flour, está elaborada con todos los ingredientes necesarios para obtener fácilmente una deliciosa masa para preparar cualquier platillo tradicional. So, why the guaraches are blue? Because of their flour. La harina de maíz, the flour of maize, of corn, is blue, which is something that I never saw in my life, and I found it super weird also in the episode, looking like a pizza blue. For me as an Italian, it was a shock. But I guess in Mexico it's very normal. What do you say, guys?
We have more than 100 kinds of corn, muchos tipos de maíz. Algunos son morados, rojos, azules. Y el más rico para mí, the most delicious one in my opinion, es el azul. So that's why we use blue corn for a lot of our typical foods, for barbacoa, for guaraches.
But do they
actually it's very nice when you have different colors in your plate. I think it makes it more interesting.
Yeah, good for Instagram.
Right.
Yeah, and also good for Instagram, of course.
No, people know the typical corn that is this one of tortillas. Like I brought this t-shirt of tortillas. But usually people know the yellow one. And like Alex said, there's a lot of types of maize, of corn in Mexico, and each one makes a different type of food. They all taste different and recommended to try.
Good, very good, very good. So let's see the next one. Okay, so there is different types of guaraches actually, right? We have the first one, the guarache de carnitas con salsa de tomate verde with tomato sauce, cebollas, cilantro y carne de costillas de cerdo. Wow, it sounds good. We have the guarache Xochimilco. That sounds very Mexican. Xochimilco con salsa de tomate rojo, ternera troceada a la plancha, cebolla y queso fresco. It sounds very good too. Guarache poblano, con una base de frijoles refritos, rajas con crema y queso, pechuga de pollo deshebrada. Okay, guys, I need to take one of these two. And guarache uxmal, con una base de puré de patata, pechuga de pollo deshebrada y cilantro. I never tried the guarache. I never been in Mexico. Will be in the future. But what's your favorite guarache, Arik?
Mi favorito es el guarache poblano.
El poblano.
Con
Okay.
pollo, queso y crema. Muy rico.
With
Sounds
chicken,
good.
cheese, and
And, ¿cómo se dice?
¿Cuál?
Crema.
And like
cream.
sour cream.
Sour
or like
cream,
cream.
sour cream, exactly.
Or it's not the same. And poblano is like a very typical salsa that is out of chipotle. Las rajas con crema es como una salsa diferente that is not green and it's not red. Es salsa poblana. Muy rica.
From the city of Puebla.
Okay, very
No,
good. What
that's
about
also
you,
poblano.
Nathan? Also the poblano?
No, I think I will order the Xochimilco. Guarache Xochimilco.
Xochimilco.
Xochimilco is like Venecia of Mexico,
Oh,
where we have the canals. It used to be like in ancient Mexico, it used to be a lake. You know,
All Mexico
conocen
City.
la historia de Mexico City. Los aztecas iban caminando en el desierto, en la tierra, and they have a legend that if you see an eagle eating a
snake.
serpiente, a snake, on top of a nopal, which is a cactus, a kind of cactus in Mexico, that's where they need to make a city, their empire.
really. I
Y
didn't know
así
the
es
story.
como se hizo la Ciudad de México, Tenochtitlán. And back then, they used to have the canals in the lake. Eventually it grew, creció y se hizo la Ciudad de México. Y por eso el día de hoy se mueve mucho cuando hay terremotos, earthquakes.
wow.
They say every year, like all the big buildings of downtown Mexico, they sink
Like 3 centimeters every
tiny
year.
bit. And also based on that legend, that's the symbol of the Mexican flag, like the nopal and the eagle on top of the snake. It's because of this legend.
You're right, yeah. Absolutely right. Amazing, amazing. So you have everything actually. You have the food, you have the canals, you have the colors of Italy too.
Ah,
And the
yes.
flag.
Right. We are a bit
Correct.
better. But yes, no.
What?
What?
Amazing.
Let me show you guys if you...
Yeah.
So you can see the eagle eating a snake on top of a cactus.
And that's how
Excellent.
Mexico City was built, basically. That's what you're telling me.
Correct.
Yes.
Crazy.
And Xochimilco, and if you go nowadays, it's a tourist attraction, but it's not only for tourists, it's un lugar muy bonito to go for a Sunday with your family. You go into one of these boats called trajineras, like a boat on top of the canal, and then you ride through the canals, and there's all these other trajineras that go next to you, and they sell you everything. They sell you guaraches, and there's like these mariachis singing to you,
Yes.
and offering you very muchos tipos de comida. Entonces es una gran experiencia ir a Xochimilco.
Muy gran experiencia.
Claro.
A beautiful experience. We should all go.
Xochimilco. Next trip, Debbie, together, if you go, we go to Xochimilco.
We go. We are planning. Lo estamos planeando y vamos a ir todos juntos. Todos los de Lingopie vamos a... No puedo decir este nombre, muy difícil. This name is too hard to say.
Xochimilco.
Xochimilco. Okay, I got it.
Okay, guys. Okay, excellent. Thank you very much. We talk about the food, a bit about the culture. Let's talk about the vocabulary, about the Mexican vocabulary that is so famous too in America, in Latin America.
It's very special, the Mexican vocabulary.
Let us say the Mexican way, and you say the other way.
Okay.
So let's start with the first one.
Bien padre o padrísimo.
Which
It
means
means muy bueno. right? It means very good. In Argentina, actually, we say, I'm from Argentina again. We say muy bueno and it's good enough. But in Mexico, you say padrísimo.
Padrísimo.
Which
You
means
have also
very good.
padrísima.
Sí, depende si es femenino o masculino.
Okay, good. You can say
Esa
padrísima.
playera está padrísima.
Sí, sí, sí.
Oh, okay. La playera, la camisa. Okay, good.
Claro.
So
Good.
we have masculine and feminine, and they both mean like very good or very well. Great. Okay. Next
Very
one.
good.
No, el otro es güey, güey, o también con B, buey.
Buey.
Ole. Three way of
Pero-
saying the same word.
They're all the same word and it means like mate.
Es como el, sin decir groserías, no es groserías, es como el boludo, como entre amigos, ¿qué pasó, güey? Como, ¿qué pasó, boludo?
Yeah,
Like the dude in
Dude.
English
What's up,
or
bro?
in Spain,
Correct.
they say tío or tico. Parce, they say in Colombia sometimes. O pibe in Argentina. In Mexico, you say güey, güey, or buey.
¿Qué pasó, güey?
But it's important to say that güey is very informal. You would not use it in a formal situation. You would call güey your friends or
your
someone that
friends.
you have a lot of confidence and you're intimate with, but you wouldn't call anyone in the street. Just come and be like, ¿qué pasó, güey?
¿Qué pasó,
¿Qué
güey?
pasó, güey?
Not to your teachers and not only between friends.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, good. Next one.
Órale.
Órale,
You have the accent, guys. I love that.
órale,
you're
pues.
Mexican, I mean.
Órale, órale. It's like, come on.
Come on, let's go.
He's like, let's do this. He's like, vamos a echar unos tacos.
Órale.
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 Vamos al bar. Órale.
Órale.
Salud.
Órale.
Eso, sí.
What is this one? No mames.
No mames.
Sí, mamá. No mames. No mames es como, no way. Como que algo que no lo crees. Something that you don't believe. It's like, no mames. Like, really?
Like,
Ese es como-
don't mess with me.
A little bit, yes.
Don't mess with me.
Don't mess
Sometimes.
with me.
A ver, let's do an
But
example.
it's also very informal and you would not use it in a formal situation.
Let's think of an example. It's like, bro, yesterday I saw Britney Spears on the street.
No mames.
Mames.
Okay, it's clear.
You got it?
Yeah. Good.
This
Next
one I
one.
really
La
like.
neta.
Este me gusta mucho y lo uso bastante. La neta. La neta is the truth, like the real deal.
Like,
So I can say, la neta, Debbie, me caes muy bien.
muchas gracias. Tú también. So basically, it's like, like we can say you really say something. Like
Yes.
you're sure about it.
Mean it, sí.
Like you mean it. When you want to mean something, like you say la neta.
La neta.
Very good. And the last one, mijo.
That's
This is
a
really it's informal too, I think.
Yeah, that's something you hear on the street. Like, mijo, pásame el comal. Like, pásame, yeah. It's like a combination between hijo, that is son, and mío, like mijo. So they say it in one word. Mijo, pásame las tortillas, mijo.
So if you go in Mexico City and you use this word, actually it can sound very good. It can be, in an informal way, of course, in an informal way.
Mijo.
Everything
Yes,
here is
it's
in
like
formal.
also in English, sometimes people say son, you call someone else, hey son, can I have that?
Very good. Very good. Excellent. Excellent, guys. Thank you very much. So our next part is about our show. Again, okay, we are talking about the special Mexican tour food. Let's see a bit more about this amazing project they have in Mexico. It's really interesting. I want to show you some good and new features that we uploaded in the last weeks in the Lingopie catalog that is pretty good. something new, when you click in a new word,
O sea,
you can actually hear it. This is very new. And you can see what kind of word it is, okay? O sea is actually a phrase, is a very common phrase in Spanish, and you can view details. And then you get more information about the words. It's pretty useful. It's very good when you want to know more information about the words and how to use these words in a new sentence, okay? So I recommend to go into this feature to inspect them a bit more because it can be very good. Let's try another one.
como,
Como, it's how, it's an adverb, okay? And it's very good because you want to use these words in another sentences, you want to use it in another situation, so it's pretty good.
fue,
Same thing with fue. And it's very good that you can hear the word every time.
fue,
Okay, this is a verb, a singular verb. And of course, I recommend every time
O sea, ¿cómo fue?
this feature, this speed, okay? That if you are starting in this Spanish thing, okay, it's very important that you go to intermediate or novice or beginner, okay? That you can actually understand the words. At the beginning, just hear the words, okay? And then with the time and when you watch more and more TV shows and movies, then you can watch it actually with advanced or full speed. And another very good feature is the mashup. I really like the mashup.
¿Cómo surge o por qué con la pizza? O sea, ¿cómo fue?
Pues
Then we propose you some words that are important to know. Okay, you can watch the TV show with the subtitle in English, but then we will highlight a word that is important to know, and we will give you the meaning. Okay, you can add it to your flashcards, and you can hear it again,
pues,
or you can add it to your flashcard. Okay, this is very good too. At the beginning, I always recommend if you are starting with Spanish or any other language, start with the subtitles in your mother tongue in English, and after a while you will feel more comfortable to bring the also the Spanish and the English translations. Okay, so let's now, yes, we can watch the.
O sea, ¿cómo fue?
Pues la idea surgió, la verdad, en un bar en Nueva York, mientras estaba yo estudiando mi maestría y haciendo lo que todo mexicano hace en el extranjero, que es extrañar la comida mexicana. Y en ese momento estaba yo pensando en los guaraches de maíz azul, y ahí se me ocurrió hacer una pizza de maíz azul, y dije, pues bueno, seguramente no existe porque no es posible. Y si la hago, le voy a poner pizza, porque así es como el mexicano le dice a la pizza, y hay que ponerle puro ingrediente mexicano, ¿no? Ahí nació la parte gastronómica y la parte del empoderamiento. Yo he sido un emprendedor.
Very good. And now we know, like, this pizza came out of los Guaraches, which we spoke till now. So now everything makes sense.
If you already watched the show, awesome. If not, we invite you to watch it. It's very interesting how he mixed the food with this social project. It's actually very, very nice, and it's a very good idea. And this part, he actually tells about where the idea came from. So it's very, very nice. Okay, so we move on to our real interview with our guests.
Entrevista.
La entrevista.
You're ready. Estamos listos.
You're ready?
Okay.
Good.
Actually, this is for all of you, okay? You are more than welcome to write in the chat, also for you, in Spanish, sí, por favor, en español, also in English, of course. But the first question will be, when you think of Mexico, guys, what are the first three things that come to mind? Arik, Nathan?
Okay.
La mayoría de gente, cuando piensa en México, piensa en tacos. Pero para mí, yo pienso en las enchiladas verdes.
Enchiladas. ¿Qué son?
Enchiladas is like also a tortilla filled with either chicken or a different kind of meat. And then they are dipped in salsa. And then you put like sour cream and cheese on top. It's a very delicious dish. Mi favorito.
I'm getting hungry.
Se lo recomiendo a todos. Yes.
Me too, Ethan. I'm getting hungry here. And what about you, Ethan? What are the three things that comes to mind when you think about Mexico?
So there's two main things that come to my mind. One is the mariachis, which some of you might know what it is. It's amazing. You go to plazas, they are full of mariachis. You pay 20 pesos and they can sing you a beautiful song, a beautiful choir. And also another thing, it's the lucha libre. You know the lucha libre? If you know the WWE, we were first. It's amazing. And it's very like classical from Mexico. You go, you see how people fight to get the mask out, and it's a very unique thing you can see in Mexico City. I invite you to watch it. We can send you later videos of
Lucha libre, very
lucha
nice.
libre, yes.
Very nice, very nice. We have from in the chat from Joy, we have beans. Okay, beans actually, yeah, I think on beans also. Tacos, and now donkeys because of the story Eric told. Very good.
Eric.
And templos azteca, maya. La naturaleza cerca de Isla Mujeres.
Muy bonito.
Okay, very good.
La mujer es muy bonito, me encanta. Yo fui a este lugar y es paradisíaco. It's one of the most beautiful places I ever visited. I think Isla Mujeres is incredible, really.
Oh,
I will add it to
list.
To my list. Yeah, I have many things to do. And comida muy picante, spicy food. Yeah, you eat spicy.
Jalapeños.
Yeah, you do. From Julia, Frida Kahlo, Diego Rivera, also Mexico, very nice. La Casa Azul.
La Casa Azul era la casa donde vivía Frida Kahlo y el día de hoy es un museo en la Ciudad de México.
Sí. Tiene ahí pavos reales y mucho del arte de Frida y Diego. Ahí vivieron muchos años. Y muy interesante. Julia, muy bien que conoces la Casa Azul. Es algo muy, muy típico y no tan común como todos conocen.
Nice, nice. Very good. So next question.
Next question. What is your favorite Mexican food? Because we didn't speak enough about food today, so we're continuing.
Bueno, yo ya dije enchiladas verdes, pero también el pollo con mole.
What is the mole?
Spoke about mole. Someone before said mole. Now you need to explain what it is because it's super special.
Okay. Mole es una salsa. It's a type of sauce hecha con cientos de ingredientes. Some of the recipes, they have 300 ingredients. Some of them have 100, but it's in the hundreds of ingredients. And they usually have nuts, different kinds of chilies, different kinds of spices, fruits. What else? And the base of the sauce, besides the chilies and all of that, is chocolate, which makes a very interesting combination of flavors. Muy, muy rico.
It's very interesting because the chocolate is salty and you eat it actually with chicken, rice, and something like you can see only in Mexico, I think.
Sí.
Like eating chocolate salty with your rice, it's super weird. I ate it and it was super good, but it was also like weird.
Yes. It's not for everybody. You either love it or hate it.
And it's spicy, right?
Yeah. Correct.
Sí.
¿Y tú, Eitan?
Sandra,
A mí, yo creo que mi comida favorita es el alambre. Al alambre, in English, is like a wire, but in Mexico, it's instead of giving you only one order of 3 tacos, they give you an alambre, it's like a whole kilo of meat and pimientos, like, how do you say pimientos?
Peppers. Bell
Peppers and nopales, like cactus, cebolla. I'm getting hungry, Arik. And then they give you, they can put cheese or no cheese, and then they give you the whole like order of tortillas, so you can make your own tacos. So you order your alambre of costilla or alambre of bistec, many different type of meat. And now I really want to get an alambre.
Veo aquí en el chat tacos con camarones, albóndigas,
Qué rico.
las quesadillas, me encantan. ¿Qué más?
chiquillas,
Chilaquiles, a lo mejor.
chilaquiles, maybe, and nopales.
Oh, who had nopales?
Nopales, no.
Soy.
I'm looking for some nopales here. I can't find. Very nice.
Next question.
Oh,
What
this
are
is for you, Debbie.
Yeah. What are the best vacation destinations in Mexico?
So for me, I'm gonna go a bit off the track, not for the typical places. You know, everybody knows Cancun, Isla Mujeres, Tulum, Acapulco. I like some of the more alternative beaches like Mazunte, which is in Oaxaca, or Chacagua, which is a beautiful paradise island with no electricity, with only like 300 inhabitants in the coast of Oaxaca. Those are my 2 favorite places.
You can write it down, everybody that wants to go to visit.
I'll write it in the
So you
chat.
can remember.
Eso es Puerto Escondido, ¿no?
Cerca.
The most famous places are actually Isla Mujeres, right? Cancun.
Tulum.
Sí, pero for me it was too touristic. Like in Cancún está todo en inglés, en Aeropostal, American Eagle. O sea, no to speak bad about Cancún, but I didn't like it. And there's places more local, like Arik said, Mazunte, Puerto Escondido, Chiapas, that there's almost no tourism there, and you can go and really meet the locals. So for people that want to have those experiences, muy recomendable también.
And for a fraction of the price, so that's also worth it.
Puerto Escondido. I heard about Chiapas too. Okay,
Wow,
Beautiful.
mucha naturaleza, and there's like jumping out of waterfalls and these cañones.
Yeah.
Very special.
Nice, very good, guys. So okay, next question. In what ways do people eat differently in different parts of the country? Like, there is any difference from north and south and the center, or like it's kind of the same?
Yes. So one of the biggest differences is that in the north of the country, en el norte, comen tortilla de harina. You know, the flour tortillas that you usually make burritos with and wraps and that kind of stuff. That's more from the northern side. So they're more used to eating that kind of tortilla over there. While in the center and south of the country, we love eating mostly tortilla de maíz, which is the corn flour that you would normally use for tacos and, you know, the Guarache that we spoke about.
Yeah.
So that's a big difference.
La venganza de Montezuma cuando llegas a México. Esto es súper importante. This is something very important to say because all the people, new tourists that come to Mexico, actually feel a bit sick at the beginning, right?
Yeah. So it's funny. We have this thing, we call it the revenge of Moctezuma. Moctezuma was the emperor of, you know, of Mexico when the Spanish came. So it's the revenge to the foreigners that come, and, you know, that's how we get the revenge, supposedly. by giving them a stomachache when they eat the Mexican food.
And for us, it's very normal. But I brought a friend from Colombia, and we were like, "Oh, come try these peanuts with chile, and try this corn with chile on top, and try this even like
Sweets
sweets with chile." So my friend was in the restroom the whole week because of the revenge of Moctezuma.
Okay. So take care with Moctezuma.
I actually had the revenge on me when I went to Mexico. I felt very sick 3 days. It was horrible. And everybody telling me it's the revenge of Montezuma. And I was like, he got me. Definitely.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias, Arik, Nathan. Stay here with us. We have, these were our question, and we have another amazing thing that Debbie made for us. Debbie?
A game, you can scan the QR, that will share my screen, and we will start to play.
So we need to scan the QR?
Exactly, yes. I'm gonna share my screen.
I love this game. That you can play from your home. It's amazing.
Okay. Okay. I think most of you are in. I will wait a few seconds. Okay. Should I start? Are you ready? Okay. I'm gonna open the subscription. I'm gonna read the question. ¿Cómo se dice muy bueno en mexicano? Muy bien. Everybody. Really got it, eh? So, as you understood, everybody, padrísimo. Muy bueno.
Padrísimo.
Next question. ¿Cuál es la origen de los guaraches? Bueno. Half. Okay. So correct answer, los tlacoyos. We read it at the beginning that it's simply a different form of tlacoyos, which are a bit smaller than guaraches. Let's go to the next question. Los guaraches son. Los guaraches are. Okay. So, sorry. Correct answer. La primera y la segunda respuesta son correctas. They are both shoes and both Mexican food. Next question. What does la neta means in Mexican? Okay. Here we go.
La neta.
Lo más. Next question. Here you can write, it's an open question. You can write in Spanish if you can, if not also in English, but Spanish would be great. ¿Qué es lo que más te gustó del episodio? You have a few seconds. A ver. You can also write in the chat if you prefer. Muy bien. Veo aquí, el proyecto social es muy linda idea. The social project that there is behind this pizza is a very nice idea, and I completely agree. Okay. Last question, I think. ¿Qué es lo que más te llamó la atención de México? What sounded most interesting about Mexico to you? It's a personal question. Let's wait. Vamos a esperar.
The burro story. Actually, the burro story was a good one.
It was a very good one. We have la comida, dos comidas, basically the food. Today was really about the food, the Mexican food. Okay, thank you very much, guys, for participating to the game. And now we will have Gabby, who will share our screen. Go.
So actually, we are in our last part of this webinar. This is about questions and answers that you have for our guests or for us. It can be about Mexico. You can write down in the chat. It can be about Mexico, about Spanish, some tips to learn more Spanish from our TV shows and movies, or maybe something that you want to know about Mexico, the food, the places. This is your time to ask to us, and we will answer, more than happy to answer some questions.
Also to our special guests, thank you so much. If you have any questions for them.
Un placer. Our pleasure. So I'm seeing in the chat, Jeremy pregunta, ¿es peligroso para estadounidenses viajar a México? Mi amigo dijo que es muy peligroso para manejar en México por los bandidos. Just like Sandra said, you know, always you gotta be careful, but there is a lot of safe places where you can travel in Mexico, and I really recommend you to go out and always do your research ahead of time. But you always need to keep an eye out for, you know, certain situations, and never wander on, you know, dangerous areas alone. Always ask the locals where it's okay to go and where it's not okay to go, and do your own research.
Yeah, I think like there is the touristic place where it's very safe to go, but if you actually want to go to very local places, maybe you need to make some researches and be careful. But I think it's like I went to Mexico and I didn't felt in danger. So I think, yeah,
there's a lot of beautiful and safe places that you definitely should check out, and just go and have an adventure. Let's see another question. How much of Mexican food is from Spain? So I would say there's a lot of influences. You know, for example, there's this thing that nobody knows where churros are really from. If they're from Spain, they're from Latin America, they're from Mexico. So, you know, that's kind of a mix that, you know, I guess it just kind of got a little bit of influence from all over the place. You know, there's also a lot of other dishes that took a little bit of, you know, for example, hot chocolate. Before, the Mayans and the Aztecs, they used to have this drink that was salty. It had no sugar at all, but for the Spanish, it was very bitter. So they needed to add something to make it more drinkable for them and for their palates. So they added sugar, and that's how we got hot chocolate. And, you know, there's a lot of stories like that mixed the cultures.
But we added the sazón mexicano, the Mexican seasoning. Oh, yes.
We have another question from Mark. What is the Plaza of Three Cultures like?
Oh, la Plaza de las Culturas.
That's in
Mexico City,
no? Sí.
I think it's a plaza in Mexico City.
Okay. A plaza in Mexico City. I never been, but I think it can be an interesting place to go to and visit.
En Tlatelolco.
Definitely.
That's in Tlatelolco. Tlatelolco is famous for a big shooting that happened with a student. Like, it's a very tragic episode in Mexican history. So if you go there today, there's a big memorial and all of that. But honestly, it's just like life as usual. It's just like another place in the city.
We have Joy and Julia asking a question.
Who added the sugar to the Mexican hot chocolate, the Spanish or the Mexicans? So the chocolate, the cacao, because like the chocolate drink comes from cacao or cocoa, which is like the fruit, the seed that they get the chocolate from. And it was already traditional back then for many, many years. When the Spanish arrived to America and they discovered all the nature and everything, they realized that they had this drink. So when they tried it, it was too bitter for them. So they decided to start adding it. And then eventually, as they started colonizing the country, it became more popular drinking that chocolate beverage with sugar. So that's how it happened. What else? Is there much coronavirus in Mexico right now? Are most people vaccinated against it? Haven't checked the statistics lately. I know that it's declining. The numbers are going down. The vaccination rate is also going up. I would say that more than half, but not a 80 or 90% like in other countries.
It was rough for one period, because there was a lot of people, and the beginning also they didn't treat it like they should, but like now it's better. And
Mexico is a huge country with a very big population, right?
Right.
Yes.
Of course.
Okay, so 60% of the population is vaccinated, if you wanted to know.
It's good. It's very good.
Yeah, pretty good.
¿Cuál es el mejor lugar con gente normal, no turistas, y mejor nadar en el mar?
Wow, muchos lugares. Yo diría que la costa de Oaxaca, like the places that I mentioned earlier. Mazunte would be a great place. Puerto Escondido would be a great place. Even if you want to go into Sayulita, which is in Nayarit, and further up the coast. Most places are great for
in Puerto Escondido, I went there and it's amazing. There's like all this mix of locals and also Europeans that they stay there and they live the good life. There's one place called Cabañitas Buena Onda, like the cabins, good vibes, something like that. And it's on by the beach, amazing weather. There's all these like European cafes, but like it has a very diverse mix of cultures there. So Puerto Escondido, it's very recommended.
Amazing, guys. We have a last question. Can we get a recording of this? And yes, you will receive a recording of this when it's ready in the next couple of days. Debbie will send to you.
Yes.
So we are on time. I want to say thank you to our amazing guest, Arik, Nathan. You were amazing. Thank you very much. Was very interesting. ¿Cuándo podemos hacer esto de nuevo? They are writing in the chat. Actually, Debbie and I are doing more webinars in the next couple of weeks. Okay, we are doing every time about a different country or about a different TV show, so you can keep updated in our site. Debbie, thank you very much for being the co-host.
Thank you everybody for coming.
Gracias, Debbie.
Muchísimas gracias por venir a todo el mundo y nos vemos próxima vez en el próximo webinar.
Buena semana.
Thank you. Muchas gracias.
Muy buena semana. Adiós.
Que estén muy bien.
Adiós.
Muchas gracias. Chao.
Hasta la vista, baby.